Okay, so I usually don't review a lot of TV shows, as you can see if you're watching this in the playlist of my movie reviews and TV too. I think I've only done like one TV review at the point of this upload, but yesterday a ton of things came out. Among them were a ton of movies. One I'll see later, Zombieland 2 review up later tonight once I go and see that. I'm sure that'll be fun. That movie is pretty short, so I'm expecting that to go up later tonight. Other movies that I'm looking forward to seeing late that came out yesterday include The Lighthouse, Jojo Rabbit. Is that it? I thought there was more. Yeah, that might be it actually. But what I'm going to be reviewing now is the Netflix original TV show Living with Yourself, starring Paul Rudd. And I was surprised just how great it was. There were a lot of things that I wanted to talk about on the show. Sorry, I'm taking care of my dogs right now, and they're making me really nervous because they're acting super sketchy. So sorry if I act a little distant during this review or if I need a pause. I just need to make sure that they're not barfing because they're acting really odd, all three of them. So I just need to keep an eye on them. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. So, first off, what is it? If you've seen Multiplicity, you kind of know a little bit what to expect, though it's way darker than Multiplicity. Izzy, no. Izzy, are you taking a crap? Izzy, no. Izzy, hey, get out. No. Gosh darn dogs. They're frustrating. Anyways, so, the Paul Rudd is good in it as both characters. It kind of reminded me a little bit of his Mute collaboration, where it feels kind of out of character for him. Mostly because even though it is kind of a dark comedy, it kind of feels weird thing where it's like hard to label it. It's also kind of like a sci-fi show. It's also kind of a psychological thriller. I don't really know though because none of those labels feel like quite accurate. The closest thing it is to is Multiplicity, just with a ton of twists. It does this thing where in most of the episodes it shows you a scene, and then later it has a twist and then okay, so it shows you the scene and you think you understand what it means, but then they show you a twist and then they show you the scene again from a new perspective from a different character, like in Bad Times at the El Royale, with this new context. And it's kind of genius that you're like, oh man, I never even thought about it that way. How did I not even realize it? It does that multiple times, and it's really cool how it does that. Everything that it sets out to do, it does pretty successfully. The only complaints I have about it are kind of nitpicks. The show's extremely short. It's only 8 episodes. Each one's 20 minutes long. The first and fifth episodes are fine, but they're not nearly as interesting as the rest of the show. The show elaborate is okay. So the show does to Multiplicity what Mr. Robot does to Fight Club, which is it. Yes, it is basically just that movie again, but what it does with those concepts, it just does with it so much more and delves into it so much more and the dynamics and the how do I explain this? Uh it raises a lot more questions about the subject matter that can't be explored in the runtime of a movie because it's only 2 hours that a TV show can because it's longer. So, like, for example, it can delve into all these different topics that can come with the association of what the show's about. Yeah. Uh, I was expecting the show to be more violent based on the trailers, but the trailers will give you a pretty good idea on what to expect from the show. I would say that the show is better than what the trailers would lead you to believe, though. I did like the non-linear narrative, though at some points I thought that gave away a little too much, a little too early at some point. I thought all the twists were very well conceived. The comedy worked very well at most of the points, and I liked all the thriller elements too. I found all the story and themery very fascinating. I liked the performances. The score sounded really cool. Yeah, there's just a lot to like in this TV show, and I really like it. I hadn't talked to anyone about the show yet, so I don't know if the show is in any of the circles of like friends that I hang out with or anything like that. I don't even know if the show's popular or not, but I just really wanted to. If this show isn't popular, if it is like not being talked about, then it's definitely very underrated because I love it so far. Well, not so far. I did finish the first season. I should reiterate. This review came out after season 1 released in 2019. I don't know if they're gonna be releasing a second season. Based on how season 1 ended, it's possible that they could be doing a second season. Or if they're ending it after the first season and it's just a one-done limited series type deal, that would make sense too. But yeah, I don't know. I would love a second season, and I would totally watch a second season if they would do that. Yeah, I just thought it was very clever. I liked how well written it was and directed and everything. There just weren't a lot of flaws. It does take a little bit of time to get into the story, so it takes some time before you can really get invested into the show. But by the time you reach episode 2, you're like fully invested, which I loved. Yeah, I just thought that the show was great. Uh, it reminded me of Maniac in some places. It just kind of felt like that. I mean, like I said, it's not completely original because it is a lot like a not as lighthearted Multiplicity. Uh, yeah. Later on, it surprisingly shows a bit of heart, and as it goes on, it does get like more darker and more complex, which I did like, which is interesting. So yeah, I felt like the show was always surprising me. There's a ton of twists over the course of the show, and you're never really quite sure where it's going with anything. The show's like always surprising you and always showing that it's smarter than you are, which I really appreciated. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best Netflix originals for sure. It's up there with Maniac, Haunting of Hill House, Stranger Things, all those great shows. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. If I'd give it a score out of 10, I'd say I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for sure. Yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, enjoy the show.